15 years ago, I ran my first and my last marathon. I found myself as a junior transitioning to a senior in college, and my mom died of a cancer bout. I was orphaned at the age of 21, and I was physically, mentally, and emotionally fatter than I had ever been. It was a tough place to be, and for 6 months, I sulked. The day before Thanksgiving 2001, I went to our wellness center on North Dakota State University's campus, and I got on a treadmill, and for the first time in my life, I ran a mile. Things jiggled everywhere, and I was sweating au jus and gravy, and it just wasn't a pretty sight, but I did it. I ran the mile, and I kept running, and I kept running. And 10 months later, I ran the Twin Cities Marathon. Now, in the process of that, I found myself in the summer of 2002 at West Acres Mall in Fargo, North Dakota, searching for the world's most powerful antiperspirant. Because underneath this jacket right now are pools of sweat in my armpits that I would hope that the people in the front row don't get affected from the splash zone that's happening up here. So I found myself at Walgreens in West Acres Mall. Here at Walgreens, I was shopping for the world's most powerful antiperspirant. And as I am looking through the shelves, I hear the manager from down the alley yell, "Stop, stop, somebody stop him!" And this guy, my size now, is running full speed past through the hallway. And my first instinct is, Eric, press yourself against the deodorants and antiperspirants and protect yourself. My second thought was this, is Eric, you can save them all. And so as he drew closer, I went down and curled up into turtle shell position, and he came at me at full speed, hitting me, doing a 270-degree turn, landing what feels like 20 feet down the aisle, not affecting the feminine hygiene products on one side or the deodorant on the other. And I get up, and I put my knee in his chest, and I said, "Don't move!" Folks, I had saved them all. So the manager calls for mall security, armed with walkie-talkies and flashlights to protect. And in walks two people standing 5 feet tall. The first one, 100 pounds dripping wet. The second one, 300 pounds. Standing next to each other, they look like the number 10. Now, if you're not chubby, shut up. Don't laugh at that. And they said, "We have everything under control, thanks so much." And I exited out of Walgreens and made my way out with my bag of shoes in tow. I get no more than 100 yards from the door of Walgreens, and I again hear that same manager yell, "Stop, stop, somebody stop him!" Mall security could not detain this person with their flashlights and walkie-talkies, and he had sprung free. And remember, I'm in marathon shape at this point. And I had saved them all once, and I'm going to save it again. So I throw down my bag of shoes. I hear the Baywatch theme playing in the back of my head, and I go on a dead sprint towards this guy. Wearing leather Doc Martens strap-on sandals, I think, you know what? Even if he's the fastest guy in town, I bet he's not in marathon shape, and unless he's Forrest Gump, I'm going to catch him. And so I find myself running, and I catch up to him without much hesitation. And when I get within about 5 feet of him, I see him in front of me digging in his pocket. And I'm thinking, this guy has a gun or a knife or a sharp number 2 pencil. And I said, I got to do something. So I put on the afterburners, and I run up to him, and I rip his arm out of his pocket. I grab with my other arm, and I put him in a chokehold with this. I jump up into the air, all 240 pounds of my frame at that time, and I wrap my legs around him, and I rip him to the ground, and then I stretch. And he lets out a noise like this. He says to me, "I have asthma," because he was reaching for his inhaler. The real cops showed up. I went to the hospital. I bruised my ribs from when he hit me in Walgreens. I go back the next day to give them the hospital bill. I go back the next day to expect to see it renamed Hatch Greens, to be given a sash that says Savior of the Mall. And instead, I got a $50 gift certificate to Red Lobster, which was lovely. Now, I was 22 years old at the time, and I realized that at that crucial part of my life that I was drawn to do good in this world. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to be a part of something awesome. I got to do that with my life, and then this transition point comes in our lives when we go from working, being in school and being wide-eyed and bushy-tailed to we get smack dab put in the middle of the real world. And the real world and the businesses that we're a part of are either nonprofits or for-profits. They're places that do good or places that focus on profit. And herein lies this inner conflict. Now, I actually think that most of us want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, that we're called to do good. It's a part of the way we're developed. It's our design to serve. It's our design to do good. And to be a part of something bigger was my craving for a business. So after college, I went to work for a nonprofit. I went to work for the church that I was baptized and raised in. And I got paid to have fun. And I got paid to do epic things. I got paid to make an impact. Now, I didn't get paid a lot, but I got paid to do things that were natural to my being, right? I was a part of something bigger because I was affecting the lives of young people, and they certainly were affecting my life. I was working for a nonprofit, and I had purpose, and I had passion, and then I had bills, right? And so I transitioned after 8 years to a life in real estate. I opened up my own business. And all of a sudden, I started to lose my identity. Naively, I lost my identity because I thought that the for-profit world had to be literally for profit. And I thought that this nonprofit world was something that I had to leave behind, when realistically, I believe we can have our cake and eat it too. But I found myself working in the for-profit world, and I grew a big business, and I grew it fast. I was given awards and recognition and had money and all these things, and I was dying on the inside. In fact, I became the poster child of failure because I got kicked out. I had all these people in my life that left me because I was a flaming hot dumpster fire. I was inauthentic to who I was created to be because I was created to do something good. I still wanted to be that person that saved them all, and now I was only caring about myself, and I failed. You see, the foundation of a nonprofit is you're there to solve a problem, where the foundation of a for-profit traditionally is for-profit. Herein lies a tension. But I believe that we can actually merge these two together and have the heart of a nonprofit exist in a for-profit. It comes with two things. The first is a purpose. This purpose is passion. This purpose is that thing inside you that says, I need to do more than just the average Joe. This business has to be more about pushing numbers and making money. There has to be more to it. And the second is people. Now, you have three ways in which I think to create the business that you want with the same kind of heartbeat that you're craving. The first is to get kicked out. I would not recommend that for anybody. But I got kicked out and I was given the gift of starting over. The second is to start a new business, something that doesn't exist, and to build it with purpose at the foundation. But the final piece where most of us will find ourselves is caught in a place that's good but not great. My challenge to you is to create a side hustle. This side hustle is a unique and incredible way to all of a sudden find like-minded people. Ask your coworkers, hey, do you want to get involved in this party planning committee? And you'll find the partiers in your group, right? Ask your coworkers and your team members, are you drawn to a book study or a Bible study? And you'll find like-minded people. The conversations a lot of our businesses are missing right now is who else wants to come and do good? And when you get two or more gathered together, you have the ability to multiply your efforts. And therein lies the side hustle. This side hustle is not the foundation of your business. It's rather literally a gig on the side. It's an extracurricular activity. And so find a way to serve. Find a way, if you care about kids in the sex trafficking industry, start a side hustle with it. If you care about abused women and children, start a side hustle about it. If your heart is for the homeless, your business can have that side hustle in it. And then here's the fun part, is that side hustle's heartbeat starts to infuse the heartbeat of your regular business, therein merging the two after a period of time. But in addition to that, when you put people in a side hustle and you give them purpose, you get to avoid the just. I'm just a realtor. I'm just a secretary. I'm just a banker. I'm just a cosmetologist. It's more than that because you have purpose with what you're doing. Now, my friend Nick Shivers in Portland, Oregon, and I started a side hustle. We started a movement called Sell a Home, Save a Child, which takes this. If you were to buy or sell a house with us, we're going to donate money in your name at closing, and we're going to pay it forward to help save kids from garbage dumps and the sex trade industry and massive poverty around the world. We started this side hustle, and Nick is far more advanced than I am yet. He now says that his mission for his company, and he's one of the top realtors in the country, that the mission for his company is to sell homes and save kids. He tells his clients that. He tells his future and current team members that. And wouldn't you believe the law of attraction for him is enormous. People are drawn to him because of purpose, because of character, because he's finally living a business that's for profit yet has the heart of a nonprofit. Now, I first said purpose is the thing that we have to pay attention to, but the second are people. If you work at a nonprofit and if you work and represent Sell a Home, Save a Child, I promise you that you will do anything within your power to help that little girl. To make sure that the guys that drive the garbage trucks will no longer take advantage of this girl. You'll go to the ends of the earth to protect her because she's worth it. And sometimes when we get in our businesses, we think that the people that we care for are our clients. And yes, they matter, but the people that matter even more so are our team members. That we will go to the ends of the earth for our team members. That we will give them grace, and we will give them relentless pursuit of love and affection, and we will help them with whatever it takes. Because the foundation always is God and family, but after that is your team. Then clients, then community, in that order. And when you can give relentlessly and a for-profit to your team, your goal is to change lives. The fun part is that it's your life that gets changed in the process, right? I always thought I wanted to have this incredible autobiography about my life. I wanted to have the book of all books where Erik did all these things and was just like super awesome and traveled and had all these incredible adventures. And there is great value in that. But my friend Mark Anderson in Fargo challenged me, and he said, wouldn't it be better to be a chapter in everybody else's book? And I went, ooh, yeah. If you want to be a chapter in everybody else's book, you need to find an aligned purpose. If you want to be a chapter in everybody else's book, you need to treat your team like you'd treat the least of these. And that is give everything that you can so that they have a better chance. At the end of the day, if you're privileged to work in a business, whether it be for-profit or nonprofit, it's not your team that works for you. Rather, it's you that works for your team. God bless.